Hi, I'm Jerry Quinn, and I'm coming to you from this year's St. Patrick's Day Parade in downtown Buffalo. This is a beautiful Sunday afternoon, and there are thousands of people wearing the green to honor St. Patrick, the patron saint of Ireland. This is one of our city's traditions, a tradition that has made it one of Buffalo's oldest and most attended single events. Well, sit back while we take you back in history and share the roots of this proud tradition.
Over 2,000 years ago, a people known as the Celts came from the European mainland and landed on the isle known as Ireland. In the 5th century, the Irish Celts frequently crossed the Irish Sea and attacked the neighboring island of Britain. While on one of those raids, they found a teenage slave named Patrick and brought him back to Ireland. Patrick then fled Ireland after escaping from his master. Around the year 432 A.D., and after becoming a priest, Patrick returned to Ireland to bring Christianity to the Irish people. Patrick used the 3 leaves of the Irish shamrock to explain the Christian mystery of one God as 3 persons, called the Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. By explaining the Trinity in this way, St. Patrick created one of the most beloved symbols of Ireland in the shamrock. Millions of Irish people have immigrated to the United States to flee religious and political persecution, famine, and to seek freedom and opportunity in a new land. Today there are over 5 million people in Ireland, and over 70 million people of Irish descent throughout the world. All through the 1800s, these poor Irish immigrants coming to the U.S. cities like New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Chicago, Detroit, and Buffalo were relegated to permanent underclass and were greatly discriminated against. To gain status, the Irish set up small businesses, mostly taverns, that were not only a place to drink, but served as a community social center. This is a story about one of those proud, brave, and adventurous people who endured great pain and suffering to leave the old sod and to seek a new opportunity in America. This man is Big Fist Mike. That is Michael J. Quinn, who immigrated to Buffalo, New York from County Kerry, Ireland in 1887 at the age of 22 years old. Big Mike settled down in the old First Ward of Buffalo, where he met and married another Irish immigrant named Mary Driscoll. Mike and his wife Mary had 6 children and ran a tavern called Quinn's Pub at 115 Chicago Street at the corner of Miami Street. This pub had a boarding house upstairs and served as a community center where they helped a lot of other Irish immigrants who settled in the old First Ward. Big Mike was a strong leader and a very good athlete too. In 1889, he organized teams for Gaelic football and hurling to play against teams from Detroit, Cleveland, Syracuse, Toronto, and Rochester. The home games were played at the old Buffalo Creek grounds, where sons and daughters of Ireland in vast number congregated every Sunday afternoon to witness their favorite game being contested. In 1901, in a bustling Buffalo, the city hosted the Pan American Exposition and was on a world stage. At this time, Buffalo was one of the top 10 biggest cities in the U.S. and a major commerce and industrial center of the world. Shipping, flour, steel, railroads, and lumber were a few of the major leading industries. Big Mike Quinn presented an exhibition game hurling as part of the Pan American Expositions program at the Expos Stadium. In 1913, Big Mike started the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Buffalo. Martha Harkin, a parade historian, wrote a rendition that was reported by the United Irish American Association's commemorative Golden Anniversary program in 1991. The birth of a proud tradition. The year was 1913, and the January day was bitter cold. As was the custom of the day, the brawny Irishmen had attended noon Mass at St. Bridget's Church on Louisiana Street. After Mass, they gathered at a local pub on Chicago Street to sort out the many issues of the day. Mike Quinn, the proud proprietor of the establishment, was in a pensive mood as he spoke of the need to pay tribute to the great St. Patrick on his March 17th feast day. Each of these men had shown indomitable courage and faith to leave the land of his birth and to make a new life. However, it was imperative they not forget their Irish heritage, for their culture had much to offer this new land. What better way to manifest their allegiance to both lands than to pair the tricolor and the stars and stripes and march through the streets of Buffalo on the 17th of March. The plans fell quickly into place. Mike Quinn would be the first marshal to lead the 5,000 marchers from the Elk Street Market terminal to Euclid Place and back to the market. The news of the coming event spread like wildfire throughout the old First Ward and the rest of the Irish community. One cannot help but wonder if they had any idea as to what would eventually evolve from an informal gathering in a local pub. John Boldega wrote in his memoirs titled Trip Around Buffalo's Waterfront and Life in the First Ward in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. Quinn's Saloon. It was here that the first St. Patrick's Day Parade got its start. Then the First World War came along, and no more parades. Now, after a lapse of some 18 years, and the year now 1935, and St. Pat's Day is approaching, Mike Quinn got things moving. Word got around about getting St. Pat's Day on the march again. So a meeting was held. The response was terrific. Soon, on March 17, 1935, the Irish Day Parade was revived. So here it is, 1935, March 17th, 18 years since the people of the ward were excited. You could see all the preparation made for the parade. The route was well decorated, flags and shamrocks on poles with the green and white insignias. Banners of all sorts suspended across the street. So you can see they all are set. Now the hour is approaching. 2 o'clock starting time. The market is beginning to fill up, and those taking part in the parade. Mike Quinn, the Grand Marshal, and his marshals are getting all the marchers lined up ready to start. You should see this. The excitement, the commotion, smiles galore, handshaking, a friendly push here and there. A great day, believe me. A whistle is blown. Quiet! Mike gives the signal. The band starts playing. A great day for the Irish. They're on their way, turning into Michigan, onto Elk Street, straight up Elk Street. They go to Abbott Road, turning into Euclid Street, onto Elk Street again, and back to the starting point, the market. Let's get up on the viaduct now, and see the parade as it goes by. The people are lined up all along the parade route. This you could see from the viaduct. Green all the way. Here they come. Let's watch Mike Quinn. Tall, straight, upright gentleman, and proud indeed, leading the march. Behind him are his great followers. His marshals are carrying his familiar Irish banner that he brought from Ireland 55 years ago. Éireann go bragh, Ireland forever. Many other banners were carried representing various clubs, unions, and churches in the ward. The marchers in their plain clothes were a picture to see. You had Mike and his marshals in top hats, the others in derbies, wide brim hats, and caps. It was a little chilly, so topcoats were worn, the long ones below the knees, well protecting the wearer. And of course the youngsters filling in at the rear of the march, in their knee pants, black stockings, button shoes, caps squeezed at the peak. Yep, this was St. Patrick's Day parade in them days, all from the first ward. The festivities went on well into the morning hours with dancing at McMahon's Hall, Chicago Street, in full Gaelic style. Saloons, they sure had their share of visitors. Hagen's, the home of the Blackthorn Club on Hamburg Street. But Mike Quinn's place on Chicago and Miami Streets is showing the full meaning of St. Patrick's Day. The Irish songs are floating through the air, along with all the laughter and gaiety these Irishmen stored up for this great occasion, St. Patrick's Day. Big Mike Quinn died a couple of months after again leading the parade in 1936. Mike was a big man in stature, but he is also a big reason why Buffalo's St. Patrick's Day parade is a big tradition today. Martha Harkin, a parade historian, said, "Today, 4 generations have worn the top hat and carried the blackthorn that belonged to Mike Quinn, a far-seeing man, proud to be an American, but equally proud of his Irish heritage."